Hey, what's up guys? Tim here. I want to do a comparison video of the Sebenza clone, which is this one here, versus the real thing. And yeah, I meant to do this video a while back, and I actually thought of doing it ever since I got the real thing. But it wasn't until a subscriber comment that sort of reminded me to make this video. And I thought it'd be a good video to make because I've seen videos about the fake one. However, I don't think I've seen a direct comparison between the Sebenza clone and the real thing. So yeah, just thought it'd be good to put this video out there. And I guess you guys can sort of take this as a PSA, if you will, or an video just for your information, because it is, at this point, it's very well known that there are these Sebenza clones going about, and in a minute, you guys will see that it's really easy to spot the fake ones, and I don't think there are too many people out there trying to pass the fake ones off as real ones, because yeah, as you'll see, it's pretty easy to spot them. So what I'm going to do is go through the differences, and then I'll just give you a few quick thoughts on what I feel about the Sebenza clone. Okay, so I got my list ready, and I'm going to start out with the coloration of the handles. So I'm not sure if you can fully tell from the video. I think you can a little bit, but the Sebenza clone, which is on top, it does look a bit lighter in terms of the color of the titanium handles, and yeah, it's a bit of a lighter gray than the real thing. And when you touch them, both have been sandblasted. However, the real Sebenza is much grippier. This was grippier when I first got it new, but it's been carried quite a bit at this point, and I can feel it's getting smoother. But yeah, I'd say the real one is still a bit grippier than this one. Okay, so next. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a lanyard pin on my Sebenza. I didn't come with one. However, you can see that if you just did a quick Google search of a Sebenza 21. You'll see that the lanyard pin isn't flat like this. So the lanyard pin on this fake one is flat, and the real one, it's somewhat concaved. And yeah, just do a quick Google search and you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay. Next, screws. Now, this Sebenza clone does have the older looking screws to them. So these do look very similar to the older Sebenza 21s, and this one it's a slightly newer Sebenza, so it does have the newer screws on here. Okay, next one, yeah, blade. Okay, so in terms of blade length, both blades are just about the same. I think the Sebenza clone is just a hair shorter. Oh, sorry about that. But if you line them up, I think they're just about almost the same. Alright, that's not a big deal. Okay, the tips of the knives are quite different in that I hold both of them up. I'll do a macro shot, but probably can't really tell. But the tip of the Sebenza clone is a lot thinner than that of the real Sebenza. Okay, so definitely a much more delicate tip on the clone, and a much more, a slightly thicker one on the real deal. Now getting to more of the blade, I'm just going to use a pen as a pointer. So the high hollow grind is, yeah, it's a little bit higher on the Sebenza clone. So if you can look at this sort of flat part here and here, if you compare these two, you can kind of get them to reflect the light properly. Yeah. They're about, it's a little higher on the clone. Okay, next part, if you look at the choils, which is this area here, you can see the choil is about, it's kind of like flat on the real Sebenza, and on the clone, right here, it is slightly curved, right there, it's a little curved. Okay, so that's pretty obvious. Next thing is the thumb studs. So yeah, my real Sebenza has double thumb lugs, and there's only a single one in this. However, you can tell that just the style and way the thumb lugs have been made, the clone, it does look slightly different. It's a bit less conical, and the anodization is a little weird because it does look blue when you look at it from the bottom, but on the top part it's almost a little purplish. Yeah, and also on this side it's not blue at all. It's kind of like a bronzish color, bronzish purple. And on the real Sebenzas, it will be blue on both sides. Okay, so there's that. What do I have next? Ah, yes, the ricasso. So, if you look on the clone, the ricasso kind of sticks out past the titanium handle here, right? But on the real deal, real Sebenza, it goes past the titanium handle here. Okay. Next part, choil. Yep. So in terms of lockup, real Sebenzas tend to lock up pretty late, and the locks don't tend to move. And as you can see on the clone, it locks up a little earlier, and I don't think it really moved as much since getting it, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, you can tell that it's a lot earlier on the clone. Okay, now, oh, and also while we're here, if you look at the inside of the lock bar, which is about right here, there's a whole bunch of machining marks on the inside of the lock bar, whereas on the real Sebenza there are no machining marks. So that's another, fit and finish sort of thing. Okay, and if you guys will just look on this part here, the lock bar cutout, that's the part of the titanium that's been milled away that allows the lock bar to bend. You can see that the milling is asymmetrical on the Sebenza clone, and it is perfectly symmetrical on the real Sebenza. Okay. All right. Next, let's see. Oh yes, very, very obvious one. While we're looking at this side of the knife, is the detent hole. So as you can see, there is no detent hole on a real Sebenza. However, on the clone, that little detent hole for the detent ball, you can see it's drilled through all the way, and obviously it's not on the real one. Okay, and this Sebenza does have the Idaho made stamp. This one does not, and I don't think any of the fake ones do have an Idaho made stamp. However, the older Sebenzas did not have the Idaho made stamp. Okay, now overall thickness, let's look at the back side here. In terms of the jimping on the clone, it's okay. I mean, it's not sharp at all, but then again, it's not that sharp. It's a little bit sharper on the real Sebenza, so you can kind of lock in a bit more. And if you look at the jimping closely, on the inside, kind of where those notches are, it's blackened on the clone, whereas it's not on the real one. Okay, and in terms of the spines of the knives, both do have the rounded spine. However, on the Sebenza clone, the spine has the stonewash finish on it, whereas the real one just has the satin finish. So yeah, on the real one there is no stonewashing on the back of the spine of the knife. Okay. Next, if you look at, I think the thickness, the TI slabs are about the same, the titanium. However, just overall thickness of the two knives, you can see that the clone is a bit thicker, right? So that means, when you hold overall thickness, when you hold it in your hand, it does feel thicker than the real Sebenza. It's not as slim. And while we're here again, if you look at the stop pins, the Sebenza clone doesn't have these two notches that are cut out here. So on the real one, there's two little notches cut on the stop pin. This one does not have it. Okay, and of course the back spacer on the real one is anodized blue, and the fake one it is not. All right, next, let's look at the action on the knife. So obviously Sebenzas are known for their epic smoothness, and it is very, very smooth. It has that really distinctive sound when you open and close it, right? And the fake one, the action out of box was terrible. It was really, really gritty, and it wasn't smooth at all. I had to do a lot of work on it. I had to polish the washers and also kind of take out the nasty factory grease that was in there. Right, and this one you can actually flick open, unlike the real Sebenzas. Well, you can flick the real ones, but it's not recommended. Anyways, so yeah, the action, yeah, obviously not good on the Sebenza clone, and excellent on the real one, of course. Okay, now another big flaw on these fakes is that a knife is closed. The cutting edge of the blade comes extremely close to the edge of the handles. So if I rub my finger, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but the edge of the blade is actually really close to the edge of the handle. So if I were to stick my finger here and run it across, if I press down and the meat of my finger goes in between the TI slabs, I will get cut if I drag my finger across there. So yeah, that's a pretty big flaw, and pretty serious one. I mean, if this knife is in your pocket like this, right, and you reach past it to get your phone, wallet, keys, or whatever, you could very well cut yourself, okay? Alright, is there anything else? I think that's mostly it. Yeah, those are the main differences, but I mean, yeah, as I mentioned, it's super easy to distinguish between the two. Biggest thing being the little detent hole there. However, I have seen some of the newer fakes, and the inlaid versions, I believe they do not have the detent hole. So they are looking closer to the real ones. And of course, internally, the real one has the bushing system, whereas the fake one does not. Obviously, it just has the washers and pivot screw. So you can crank this one down too tightly and it will not open. Alright. So in terms of blade steel, the Sebenza clone is listed as D2 tool steel according to the Chinese manufacturer. However, we don't know that for sure. It could very well be 440C. So, yeah, and obviously the real Sebenza is S35VN. Oh, and just one last thing I forgot to mention about the Sebenza clone is that, yes, the handle slabs are real titanium. I took a magnet to them and it does not stick. However, the pocket clip is not titanium. Some form of steel, because it magnet sticks to it. Whereas, of course, on the real one, the handle slabs and the pocket clip are both titanium. Alright? So, I guess just to give you guys a bit of closing thoughts on this, as I'm sure a lot of you, well, not a lot of you, maybe some of you are, tempted to buy the Sebenza clone, and, maybe you're thinking about it. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you which is right and which is wrong. That's up to you to decide. But I'll just say this. Just think about why you're buying the knife, whether it be a real Sebenza or the clone one. For me personally, as I mentioned before, I bought this out of curiosity, but I had it for a while and I'm like, okay, well, I guess this looks like a Sebenza, but I still didn't know what a real Sebenza felt like and what it handled like. And it definitely left me wanting more, after buying the fake one. So I went to a knife store and I asked to look at a real Sebenza. And, obviously once I held the real Sebenza, I opened it and closed it and got a feel for it. I'm like, yeah, there's no way this clone compares to the real deal, right? And, yeah, that's why I went ahead and, got the real thing, right? So yeah, think about why you're buying it. I mean, yes, you are buying it to use it as a cutting tool, but when you get to the range of spending around $400 on a knife, you're not just buying it because it's a tool, right? It's offering you something that a regular knife doesn't. And in the Chris Reeve case, for Chris Reeve knives, they're offering you superior fit and finish and just really precise tolerances and machining that produces a really, really well-made knife. And with the real deal, you also have that sort of pride of ownership, right? You know that you're holding a piece of knife history, whereas with the fake one, it's not, because it's it's a fake, right? So I don't know. Yeah, that's basically how I feel about it. And I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, if you buy a fake one, you're any less of a knife collector. I mean, it's totally up to you. But just coming from me, a person who's experienced both, if you for sure are gonna say, I will never ever spend $400 on a knife, but you want something that kind of looks like the Sebenza, then yeah, by all means, go ahead. However, if you know that somewhere down the line you will get the real thing, don't bother with this. Save that $70, $80, whatever it is, and put it towards the real thing, because the real thing is worth it. To me, in my opinion at least. And it's going to be different for everyone. Some people think it's worth it, some people don't think it is. But, I won't get too much into that either. Alright? So I hope this video helped you guys out. Hope it's not too long. But anyways, if you guys have any questions or comments, of course, let me know. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it interesting and thought-provoking or anything like that, okay? So thank you for watching, guys. Appreciate your time, and I will see you on the next video.